time for them. But
he's not going to do that. He'll be intoxicated, hanging out, drinking adult beverages, not helping the cause at all. So he's going to get the punishment.
Welcome to the Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad, it's Eric, it's Josh. We're here to break down the bye-apocalypse that is Week 7. And oh my God, are there any players still healthy in the NFL that are not on a bye week? Please, Lord, help us. Music stop.
Not good, Bob.
Hey, boys.
I'd be a lot better if people quit getting hurt and going on buys, but it's Week 7. I mean, so we got 18 weeks this year, so I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yeah, sure.
It'll all buff.
My son projectile vomited on me earlier, and it almost went in my mouth. So that was fun.
I do not miss those days at all.
Yeah, it hit right here, and then he just covered me. So that was fun. Changed him real quick, and then hopped in the shower. So yeah, my night's going better. I'm clean, so that's good. My Heroes and Villains was pretty rough last week, though. Or this week, past week. Yeah, the past week. So hopefully we'll do a little better this time.
Can't be rougher than what them Broncos played like last night. Ugh.
Yeah,
terrible. Make Case Keenum look serviceable. Too bad Vic Fangio couldn't make him look serviceable when he actually coached him. You bum.
You know what makes me sad is they could have Justin Fields and Javonte Williams, they could have Justin Fields and Javonte Williams, and they would be a ridiculously good duo, I think.
But that corner is really good.
Patrick Surtain he's really, really good.
Oh no, he's great.
Yeah, we would have had Justin Fields and it would have been fine, but it wouldn't matter because Vic Fangio is still the coach. So until that changes, it's not going to matter.
Fair.
He's 90, boys. Leave him alone.
And why do people keep trying to say Teddy Bridgewater's starting quarterback? He's not. He's a really good backup.
He's a starting quarterback.
Technically.
I mean, yes, he's the starter on your roster. Should he be? Probably not.
Case Keenum is a starting quarterback right now.
That's not. That's
Case
not
Keenum.
Because everybody's hurt.
Took the Vikings
quality,
to the NFC Championship.
Starting quality is what I mean.
Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl, starting quarterback. Trent Dilfer won a and now he grabs kids on the sidelines and slams them down and tells them to sit on the bench.
That's what I like.
Because he was arguing with him. That was a wild clip. Wild clip.
He didn't really put hands on like that much. He got his shoulder pads, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Well,
all righty.
Rough week.
It is Week 7.
Yeah.
I just looked at it. There are 7 players that were projected as top 24 running backs that are out or on IR already.
Good Lord.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the teams that are on a bye are Bills, Cowboys, Jags, Chargers, Vikings, and Steelers.
So I play in 12-team leagues normally. Brad, you're in some deeper leagues. You're in some like 14 and 16 team leagues, aren't you?
Well, they're like 12-team leagues, but there's way bigger rosters.
Right. But who are you filling that roster out with right now? It's got to be just the walking wounded on everybody's team.
Well, so my roster this week is setting good. Stafford, Miles Sanders, good old Johnson from Cleveland hooked me up last night.
There you go.
Brandon Cooks, Michael Pittman, Mark Andrews, and it's tight end premium, so I just load my flex up with tight ends.
Yeah, because they're still mostly healthy, pretty much.
Well, it's 1.5, so you get really good points there. Yeah. But that's one of my deep leagues. That's not really hurt. The other one, I'm really hurting for a wide receiver because every wide receiver I keep trying to plug in, I keeps getting hurt. Antonio Brown, looking at you. Of all the weeks.
I mean, there's a couple of guys that are banged. I mean, even Seattle, they think they got something, working there with Alex Collins, and now he's sidelined with a core issue. Probably won't play. But it's okay because Rashad Penny will come in for a week before he goes back on the IR. So that'll all buff out.
Boys.
It's like these guys are not going to hold up. I'm sorry.
Speaking of Seattle, DK Metcalf missed practice on Friday with a foot injury after he was a full participant earlier in the week.
That's not normally a good sign.
Well, we saw what was it? Baltimore did that last year with Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown. Friday practices, they had them skip them a lot.
That's the same thing I thought about Christian McCaffrey. He had a limited, and then it did not practice. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So
It is concerning.
You guys know the meme of Pam Beasley where she's got the two pictures and she goes with Creed. And
corporate needs you to tell the difference between these two pictures. Yeah,
they're the same thing.
So somebody put a picture of Todd Gurley and a picture of Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, that hurts.
That was hurtful.
They did burn very brightly for a short time, but it's looking like yeah.
Hey, now something that's big is happening. Our boy Jimmy G is back. Trey Lance is going to have to take the week off, and Jimmy G starting this week, boys.
Yuck.
Do you think Jimmy G was going to be the starter no matter what? Trey Lance hadn't really been like.
No, he didn't light the world on fire. I think Jimmy would have been the guy when he came back.
It wasn't like when Alex Smith got hurt and Kaepernick took over in 49ers land. Like I think everybody expected that to happen, but that was not what happened there.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I mean he still just has a long way to go. I think that's what people need to understand.
Yeah, he was
Kyle
so
Shanahan's
raw
trying to get a
coming in.
500 record.
Yeah, he was so raw coming in. He only threw like 400 passes between like high school and college, like total, I think, coming into the NFL. Really raw as a prospect. And Seattle is just. I really think DJ Dallas is the guy to have in Seattle right now, because I don't think Collins is going to make it through the game, and I don't think Penny will either. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, it's people will get hurt. It'll be whatever. But Sammy Watkins and Latavius Murray both out. You guys ready to fire up those Le'Veon Bells?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because him and Devonta Freeman will both get a touchdown while they have a good, healthy running back as a healthy scratch each week. That's fine. I don't understand Baltimore's.
I don't. The running backs in Baltimore are like running backs in New England.
Yes.
You just don't know who to go with.
And none of them will probably see enough volume to, like, they might each get a touchdown like last week, but what are they going to? They're going to touch the ball 6 times a piece, and then Lamar will run it the rest of the time.
So let's talk about Bateman. Last week it was a blowout game. Bateman had 20% of the target shares for Baltimore. Do you think that was because it was a blowout and they were just trying to get him worked in the offense, or do you think that is something we'll see going forward?
I think it could be both. Hollywood didn't play particularly well, and he got banged up in that game too, right? Hollywood did.
He's always banged up.
He's always banged up, but I mean, it makes sense that they're going to try and get him involved a little bit, get him going. I'm okay with all that, but they got to get him going in the flow of the game because he's going to be the guy. The guy. Yep. What are you eating there, bro? Oh, sorry.
Hot mic.
Yeah, no, I think I think that's going to be the norm for that team. I think Bateman is the number one guy there. As long as he's healthy, I think Bateman is the number one guy. Hollywood has looked good lately, but
I don't see 20% target share. That's a lot for a team that's going to throw the ball 20 times. It's you're saying he's getting 5 targets a game, maybe, but Mark Andrews is probably going to get 7 to 8. Hollywood will get his 6 to 7. The running backs will get a couple checkdowns.
No, baby, it's all the Bateman show, baby.
I don't think the running backs are going to get any. I think it'll be. I think he could stay up in the 15-20% range for targets.
Yeah, why is he going to throw the running backs the ball? He doesn't even know who's going to be back there on a week-to-week basis.
Because he just throws dudes open. Because Lamar Jackson is a quarterback, boys. And he's a good quarterback. Highest winning percentage since he's taken over.
He is.
He's very good.
He is very good at football. I'll give him that.
So here's a question for you guys. Who would you give the MVP to if the season ended today? Would you give it to Lamar or would you give it to Derrick Henry? Or somebody else?
I would give it to the Cowboys corner.
Diggs? Nice.
He's got an interception per game.
He does. Yeah. He's lighting the world on fire. He's great. He should win Defensive Player of the Year in my opinion, but usually, MVP goes to an offensive player. I personally, I would give it to Henry because that team has no right being, what are they, 4-2? No right being 4-2.
Yeah, well, I mean, that Monday night game.
If the season ended right now,
here, let's talk about
who runs the ball to come back.
Hold on, let's talk about some fourth down plays last week. I want to talk about 2 of them. There's one that happened in London and one happened on Monday night.
All right.
The London
there
one,
were multiple fourth down plays that happened.
Well, I know, but these ones pretty much decided a game. These ones decided games.
Okay.
You have 2 on fourth down, and you decide to just hand it off to – what are you eating, Josh? There we go. Crinkling paper right in front of your mic.
Sorry, it was my Rubik's Cube. Sorry, bud.
What do you need, a fidget spinner over there, Peyton?
I have one of those too.
So Tua, they just literally have him go under center and just hand the ball off on 4th and 2 instead of having him roll out, try to make a play, which he had made plays on 3rd and 4th down throughout the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give him the opportunity. And then the reports of Deshaun Watson that trade talks are going back up. Yeah, the coach comes out and says Tua's our guy. But your play call does not tell me that Tua's your guy. Because if he's your quarterback and he's the one that you trust, why are you not putting the ball in his hand when the game is on the line?
Because he's not his guy. Come on, dude. You know that.
I know. That's the one thing that worries me about Tua. I don't know if Tua will be there going forward. I think they're just showcasing him, trying to get some value.
Well, I bet the Steelers would love to have him because that was supposedly the 3-team trade was Tua to the Steelers, Deshaun to the Dolphins, and then bunch of picks to Houston.
I thought he was going to the football team.
Yeah, that team was. I've heard that too, but then I hear all these rumors are crap. So I don't know, but yeah, that was perplexing because they can't really run the ball. Give Tua a chance to make a play with his feet or his arm. Jalen Waddle looked really good in that game. Gesicki's been great.
Good. Yep,
they had options there, and
let him roll out and make it up.
I think that's a young coach not knowing what he's got with the personnel he's got. So
in the Buffalo, I love the 4th and 1 call. I mean, I like going for it on 4th and 1, but put Josh Allen in shotgun. He's never thrown a red zone interception. Let the dude finish what he started. Don't put him under center where.
I mean,
not to mention he could run it in from there too. Like, yeah.
I'm okay with it. You play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
It was it might have been the wrong play call.
No,
it might have been the wrong play call, but
not everybody plays to win the game.
You should.
No.
You should.
Who doesn't play to win the game?
The Detroit Lions. We can say
no, they play to win the game. They just find amazing and fantastical ways to lose.
That's the mind trick. That's the mind trick.
Is that what it is?
It's so sad.
It is sad.
And they're not going to get a win this week either.
Nope.
Yeah.
But
Going
DeAndre, man, he is the garbage time king, and I love him. All
right, you guys want to get into the any other news before we get?
I think we pretty much
we can cover the rest as we go through heroes and villains.
I was laughing earlier because I got to the section of the injury report with the Giants. Questionable, out. Yeah, everybody's every skill position player on that team is out.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard took a setback. Dante Pettis might be the number 1 wide receiving option there.
Yeah, Dante Pettis. I forgot that he was around.
There you go.
There you go, bud.
That's fun.
Yeah. What about Kadarius Toney? Is he hurt still?
He's out.
Yeah.
He's ruled out. Yeah. Saquon Barkley ruled out.
Darius Slayton
ruled out.
Yeah, Galladay's out.
Questionable. Slayton
but had a setback.
Ingram questionable. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
That'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Also, the Bucs put out that Antonio Brown and Gronk, Richard Sherman, and offensive linemen are all out.
That's fine.
What happened to Brown?
He's old, so he just deals with stuff.
Well, that's fair. He is older.
I think they're trying to keep him on pitch count.
It's a mental health day.
When he's healthy, when he's out there, when he's on the field and suited up, they're going to have to play him. So you find some minor injury and you rule him out and you make him.
Yeah. Well, good. At least Chris Godwin maybe will get some targets this week.
Very similar to what Tyreek Hill's doing. He's got a bad quad and he's out there outrunning everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's very fast. He's very good.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, It's heroes, villains, and sidekicks.
All right. Heroes, villains, sidekicks. I wasn't here last week. You guys gave me the good old offer. So that means this week I'm hit them all, right? Because I didn't miss one.
No, you can recap your guys. We'll change the record. We just didn't have who you.
That was
who
2
your
weeks
picks were.
ago. I don't want to waste this much trying to go back 2 weeks. We'll do that at a later time.
No, he's saying he didn't even do any last week. He didn't even do any.
No, he's saying I could go back and do the ones that I had last week to revise.
Just give us your overall record, and then we'll add it up because we need the tally for the end of the year.
Didn't even look it up. All right. Who did you guys have last week? Who was your hero quarterbacks, Josh? Tell the guys.
Taylor Heineke, and he finished 25th. So it was a perfect matchup, and he blew it.
Yep. Eric, your hero quarterback was?
Davis Mills. He was not even in the top 20. I think he was 26th or 27th.
And I believe Tyrod could play this week, right? Or did they officially rule him out?
I'd keep ruling him out if I were the Houston, but
I think Tyrod can come back this week.
He probably can. I don't know, actually.
I'll look that up. Who are your villain quarterbacks?
Ryan Tannehill, 19th, baby.
Yeah, Derek Carr. Why do I always want to say David? I was reading a thing about busts, the worst, your team's worst bust of the 20th century or the 21st century. Yeah, he was one of them.
Oh.
All right, Tyrod Taylor is still week to week. Davis Mills will be starting week 7.
There you go.
There you go.
I want to make sure
Perfect. With the
All
hammy.
right, hero running back, Eric.
My hero was Najee last week. He was like 5th.
Yeah, he was.
That'll work. Mine was James Robinson, finished 12th, RB1. Let's go.
There you go.
Got that CD Lamb value.
Yeah. the number one overall player in fantasy last week, CeeDee Lamb.
I mean, do you want to explain to the audience what I'm talking about here? The CD Lamb value?
Nah. We're good.
So there was a trade in a league. A guy, has Christian McCaffrey's hurt and was like, I need a running back. And he pivoted hard and was like, I'll trade CeeDee Lamb for James Robinson in a dynasty league.
Yeah, which I'm fine with because I had Zeke and Dak as well that I'm both forced to start, and it was just too much. I needed to spread the wealth. James Robinson is RB1. He was RB1 last year. He's an RB1 this year. I'm fine with it. ETN's going to end up having that foot issue where he won't be able to play next year either. And if he does, then he'll be a gadget guy. So I'm not really that
Urban
worried
Meyer's
about
gone next year. There'll be somebody to fix all that.
Can't fix
Why are you coming at my guy like that?
No, because I'm being serious. I mean, everybody who has that foot issue has issues the same year following that.
That's why I'm trying to get back in the lottery this year because I got 2 first rounds.
Trying to play through it. All right, Eric, who was your hero running? Oh, you said Najee. Who's your villain running back?
My villain was Cook and Madison. Madison would have been a good call, but Cook was a monster, so I failed.
You can't call Madison you can't call Madison if Cook's in. Let's be honest.
Sure, I can because Dalvin Cook rarely finishes a game when he is coming off an injury. So I took them both. Hi, Kitty.
Took them both.
Eyes are so big.
All right. Mine was Alex Collins. Finished 17th. I feel fine with that.
I don't know if it's so much a villain, but it's an RB2.
Sidekick?
Yeah, I don't know. Not quite a villain. Definitely not a hero, but not quite a villain. All right, wide receivers, Josh. Who is your hero wide receiver?
Manuel Sanders finished 23rd, so that didn't really work out.
Yeah, that's not.
That's wide receiver 2 range, but not going to win any weeks. It didn't kill you, but it's not going to win you any weeks. If I were to pick Cole Beasley finally, who I tried to back all year, he had a great game. But no, and then my villain, A.J. Brown, he finished 20th. So better than my hero. So that doesn't help.
Who'd you have, Eric?
I had Deontay Johnson. He only finished 16th, so good week.
It's
solid
week.
Good,
though. It started solid for him.
Oh, it looked great. I was like, all right, we got this. Let's go. But nope.
And your villain?
Cortland Sutton, who finished 8th. He had 24 points. Whatever, man.
Sure.
Yeah, and he had a great one-handed catch on Thursday night.
It was pretty.
Yeah, he did. Last night was great.
No, he's looked great.
The tight ends.
He had a quarterback.
Poo-poo platter tight ends. Who'd you guys take?
I
Eric, you took Ricky
Morale.
Seals-Jones, didn't you?
I played Ricky Seals-Jones. I should have taken Ricky Seals-Jones in as for my hero. I was riding Dawson Knox again because he's been killing it, but he got hurt. I chalked that up to a wash because he had 7 points pretty quick. I thought he was doing quite well, but then fractured his hand. So
yeah, he's gonna go to the IR. Are you dropping him in any non-dynasty leagues? Dawson Knox, not gonna hold him, are you?
I would hold him. I would try to. If you can hold him, I would. Because man, tight ends
holding too tight. If you don't have an IR spot, it's so hard to hold.
Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of redraft. I'm not in redraft this year, so I guess they don't have a. I don't believe me. I want to be. No, it's not like that. I want to be in redraft. I'd much rather be in redraft than a bunch of dynasty leagues. But I would hang on to him if he can, especially if he got an IR as well.
He knew that his hand was broke, and then he still went out there for that 2-point play, like the 2-point conversion. Like he was like, he's like, oh, my hand's jacked up, but I gotta go. So he did it anyway.
That's why the ball didn't look. That's why the ball didn't look good because like he was a former quarterback. I was like, that didn't look like a former quarterback throw. Just saying.
Yeah, he knew his hand was jacked up. He didn't know it was broken, but he was like, yeah, but we still got to go. So that's my kind of guy right there, Dawson Knox. Let's go.
Well, Brad, you listen to the Ringer NFL Fantasy Show, right?
I haven't listened to it in a while, but yes.
Well, they always talk about like regular injuries that NFL players go through. Like he broke his hand and then he goes out there and he plays another down, right? Like he goes in for the 2-point conversion to throw the ball. Like if I broke my hand, I'd be like, crumpled up, like lying on like, oh God, like help me, like kind of stuff. So
yeah, I'd be
limping. Wild.
I had broke hand. I'd be walking with a limp.
Exactly. Oh, my back hurts worse now.
But there's some of this stuff though. It's like, come on, dude. It's just a little hammy. Grow up. Come on. You know what I mean? I think they're softer than they used to be.
Sometimes I don't drink enough water. My hammies feel tight, and I don't even want to walk.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's like that. Like I bend over to grab my socks sometimes in the morning. I'm like, oh, my hammies are a little tight, but
you got to get those little sock things for your, like the little poles that you help put your socks on.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I'm trying to hold off for a couple more years for that.
Right.
All right. But, sorry, Josh. Who was your tight end?
My hero was Mo Alley Cox. He did score the touchdown, but he finished 17th, so that didn't help. And then David Njoku, 47th. Nailed it.
Dropsies. My villain was Darren Waller, and he finished 13th. Outside of tight end one range. So I'll take that. That was a gutsy call for me.
So Darren Waller, if you look at his numbers, he's only finished as a top 10 tight end once this year.
Yeah.
That's not good. Well, now that Gruden's gone, though, maybe.
Maybe what? Gruden was the biggest.
He was probably the biggest Darren Waller fan they had. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe now he'll persevere because of the racism being gone.
Yep,
possibly.
Okay. Moving on from this topic.
Well, Brad, you played Ricky Seals-Jones last week too, right? In our other dynasty league. Yeah. Good call by you, bud.
Secured me the W.
There you go.
All righty, let's get into our heroes and villains for week 7. Like you said, there are a lot of good teams on buys this week. And NFL, can you put the good offenses, like spread their buys out, please?
Right? Yeah. As Josh said earlier, we got Buffalo, Dallas, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, and Jacksonville.
And that's Los Angeles Chargers for you all following at home. All right, I'll start this off with the quarterback. I am taking Matty Ice coming off that bye week.
Gutsy.
They're playing,
Miami,
that's what it is. Miami with a heartbreaking loss. Team's going to be a little demoralized. Miami's defense not been looking that good. Their corners are all banged up. Yeah. They played in London without both their star corners, so they're still banged up this week. I like Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan's had 20-plus points in more games than not this year. So
they usually have to throw, so he's not a bad
choice.
Cordell
Patterson.
Yep.
All right, who do you have, Josh?
For my hero, I decided to go with Sam Darnold. That's right. I think he's going to get right. He's going up against the New York Giants. They're completely depleted on offense. They're going to have a great opportunity here. So I think They've allowed 14 passing touchdowns already. They're not getting a lot of sacks. The Giants are just bad. They're real bad at football. So it's I think it's a get-right game. It's a get-right game for Sam Darnold. Let's go.
And last week, Sam Darnold would have had a lot better game had Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore and the rest of the team not had the dropsies because, man, they had some buttery popcorn before that game.
Yeah, so I feel good.
Delicious buttery popcorn, which I'm going to have tomorrow night.
Who is your hero? You going to watch Dune?
I'm going to watch Dune at the Alamo Draft House with the big recliner seats and a beer, bud. Yep, it's going to be great. I even got a DD, so I can get saucy.
You can partake in a few adult beverages.
I can have some adult beverages, yep.
Who is your quarterback, Eric?
My hero quarterback this week is Mac Jones.
Mac Jones? Check down Jones?
Check down Jones. Going against the Jets.
Yep.
Now, normally they're very good against quarterbacks, probably because teams are mostly running the ball against them. But honestly, the New England defense hasn't been nearly as good as they normally are. And they don't really run the ball they don't really run the ball that well. So I think this will be a lot closer than a lot of people think, and I think they'll be just fine. I think Mac Jones will have a good game.
Did you see where Zach Wilson said he's looking forward to playing the Patriots again?
What? Because you probably have you should have less turnovers, right? Didn't he turn the ball over like 5 times?
Yeah.
Was Stephen Gilmore playing against them?
That wasn't the Patriots game, was it? He had 5 picks? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was 5 picks, but I think it's 5 turnovers.
4, I think. Yeah, 4 picks and a fumble. Yeah.
Can't get much worse. So, you know.
Yeah. But again, they don't run the ball very effectively anyway because you never know which running back's going to be out there. And then if they fumble the ball once, he's like, well, just throw it again. Just throw it.
And that's what happened. I wasn't on last week's show, but Damian Harris, who I had as a hero 2 weeks ago, he could have 2 touchdowns, fumbles on the goal line. And Bill was like, nope, you're done. And then they're like, oh, man, the running game's not really going. Let's put you back out there. And he got hurt.
Yeah. And Ramondre's banged up. Then you got Brandon Bolden. JJ Taylor, I just don't see them running the ball very much, even though they probably should in this game. But come on, Mac.
Come on, Mac.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah, Zach Wilson had 4 interceptions against New England.
Yeah,
in week
sounds
2.
about right.
He was a young quarterback. He's learned a lot since then.
Sure he has.
Yep. All right, let's do hero running backs. Josh, go ahead and start this off.
All right, I decided to go with Chuba Duba Duba. I stacked it. Chuba Hubbard. I think that he's going to be just fine. Now, they're talking about Damian Williams. He might be able to come back, but he's actually not going to be able to be activated from the COVID list until Saturday at the earliest because he's not vaccinated. So it looks like Chuba is going to be the starter no matter what. What?
Damian Williams plays for Chicago.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking – I had my guys mixed up. I was thinking of Khalil Herbert. Sorry, I apologize. Because he's on there. So anyway,
I'm like,
he's on the next one. He's on the next one. Sorry, guys, I apologize. I said the other one I got it all mixed up. Anyway, so yes, Chuba Hubbard playing against the Giants, stacked with Sam Darnold. The Giants terrible against running backs along with quarterbacks as well. They have only allowed 4 rushing touchdowns though, which is pretty good. So Chuba might not score, but he's definitely going to get yards. They've allowed the most yards or the second most yards to running backs all season on the ground. And receiving-wise, they're first. So 264 yards receiving. So not good. Not good. Stack them. Chuba.
Stack them. Stack.
Chuba and Sam Darnold. Stack them. Could have been a great Christian McCaffrey game. Could have been.
Eric, who's your running back?
I'm going to ride the Cordarrelle Patterson bandwagon one more time against Miami this week. They give up the most points to opposing running backs on a weekly basis. Hopefully Mike Davis doesn't snake a late touchdown from him again. But they give up 26 and a half points per week to opposing running backs. So I like Cordarrelle Patterson this week.
And he gets a lot of it in PPR and pass catching. And
yeah, he's good.
Yep. All righty. Mine is Miles Sanders. I think they learned to give him the ball maybe more than, 1 time and a half. Because it seemed like in the second half when they actually started trying to legit run the ball, the offense worked a little better. So if they can give him 15 to 20 touches, I know it's asking for a lot here. Do you guys think he's gone? Philly coach of the year?
No, he's just started. This is his first year.
So he refuses to give up play calling. And play calling is what the problem is there right now. Let's be honest.
I think Jalen Hurts is a problem. He'll be gone.
I think Jalen Hurts isn't great, but I don't think he's the problem. Or they are trying to lose. Because they have 3 picks in the top 10 right now.
Why are you not letting Miles Sanders? Why are you not letting Miles Sanders run the ball? I just don't. Yeah. I don't get it.
Well, I think a lot of it is RPOs too, and I think Hurts is just pulling it back. I think that's another.
The concerning thing is when Kenneth Gainwell comes in and he gets all the passing down work. I mean that changed last week, right? So we saw Miles Sanders get a little bit more passing down work, which is promising for him.
Still not good though.
But it's not good. Yeah. And then, some weeks he gets 2 rushing attempts. Like, come on, dude. And it could be Hurts. He's inexperienced. He does pull the ball down a lot instead of going through progressions or maybe handing it off like he should. And he just tries to make a play himself. Yeah. I mean, Sirianni, I think he'll get another year. The Eagles usually give their guys a couple of years, like 2 or 3. I think he'll get another year. But, man, it is.
He's got to give up play calling. I honestly, it's just play calling. If you look at it.
Yeah, he does need to pull Matt Nagy and be like, here, he needs to give it to his Glazer.
Well, Matt Nagy refuses to give up play calling again, too.
Did he? Is he calling plays again?
Yes.
Get out of here. Let Justin free.
Yeah, he is.
Wide receiver hero, Eric.
I got Debo this week. They are playing Indianapolis. They about to get Debo'd because they are terrible against wide receivers. They give up 26.5 points a week to wide receivers. That team has looked a mess usually on a weekly basis. Unless JT is breaking off big ones, Wentz doesn't look like he can really do anything, and the defenses just look terrible. So I don't foresee them having another good week against our boys from San Francisco. I think they'll have a tough time against them. So.
Okay. Josh, never mind. Josh, I'll do my wide receiver. Allen Robinson. He had 7 targets last week. They're playing Tampa Bay. It's really hard to run the ball against Tampa Bay.
It sure is.
You can give Allen Robinson his 12 targets. Let him fall in the end zone here. He was dealing with an ankle injury, but there are no healthy corners. Honestly, I wish Richard Sherman would have played because I think Allen Robinson could have worked him over.
Oh, he would have worked him. Yeah.
But, yes. This could be the week where they start just peppering him with targets.
Yeah. He is still questionable for this week, but
he's expected to play. He practiced.
Yeah, he should play. Yeah.
Josh, your wide receiver is?
I decided to go with the number 48 wide receiver on the year. So, if you're hoping this guy will get off the schneid, me too, because I picked him. So, he's only been a wide receiver 2 once this year. Outside of that, he hasn't even cracked the top 24. Calvin Ridley, you drafted him to be a stud. He has not lived up to being a stud. He didn't make the trip to England for personal issues, but so far it's been a very deflating season. We got to be honest about that. But he is going to be playing a terrible team this week, the Miami Dolphins. Brad, you've already picked your hero quarterback as Matty Ice. That hopefully means good things for Calvin Ridley. They're the 4th worst team in all football against wide receivers, allowing 8 touchdowns, 1,260 yards. I feel really good about Calvin Ridley this week. Let's fire him up. He's had a couple weeks off. He should be fresh. Let's go.
Will Kyle Pitts also perform this week, you think?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Okay. It's Kyle freaking Pitts. I mean,
who's had one good week?
It's Kyle freaking Pitts. So.
Kyle Pitts, let's go.
Kyle freaking Pitts.
Mm-hmm. When are you going to move CMC there, bud?
After the season.
You're going to wait till after the season to move him?
You can't move him now. His value's so low. You got to wait. You got to wait till he's got a little.
I don't know.
Or maybe if he comes back healthy before the trade deadline.
Speaking of the Miami corners, Byron Jones is dealing with a quad and Achilles injuries. He did limited practice. And then Zamian Howard is dealing with a groin and a shoulder that made him limited as well.
Yeah.
So good chance both of them could miss again.
Yeah.
McGroin.
All right, tight end heroes. Eric, give me that.
Give me Dallas Goedert. Zach Ertz is finally gone. No longer an Eagle. So,
and trust me, Sleeper was getting the mentions on Twitter when Zach Ertz started that. When that Arizona game started, his points went from 10 to 0.
That's right. One of the guys in our league mentioned that, and you were like, "They'll come back. Don't worry. They'll fix it. They'll do the."
Yeah, they were already getting blown up.
Yep, and that's understandable. They're playing.
My points not count now.
Who are they playing this week? Where'd it go? We are bad at this.
The Eagles
will play the Raiders.
Philly's playing the Raiders this week.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And they give up the most points on a weekly basis to opposing tight ends, average of 12 points a week. So you only need that 1-for-1 in a score. And frankly, Devonta Smith, unfortunately, hasn't looked that impressive. I think that's a result of the terrible offense, and I think that's bad. The poor quarterback play. I know Hurts does look good on the fantasy stat sheets, but if you watch him actually play, he fills up the box score, but he doesn't really help them win. So, and Jalen Reagor hasn't looked very good either. So I think Goddard's probably the best receiving option there right now. I think he'll get in the end zone at some point.
My hero is Hunter Henry, tight end, New England, going up against the Jets.
He's played well.
The red zone guy. He's taken over for Jonnu as the pass catching tight end there. That is far away.
Hasn't that flipped around from what we thought it
I
was?
took Hunter Henry before the season started, boys. You guys were all team Jonnu.
Well, they paid him the big money. I figured they would try to feature him in that offense, and then it just really hasn't worked out that way. He's blocked a lot more, and they haven't used him in funky ways that Tennessee did, or that we kind of did in the preseason, where they would use him in the backfield and design runs and stuff.
Could be saving it. Oh. But Josh, who's your tight end?
Oh, the old boy's going to be going up against probably the worst team in football. I mean, it's close between them and Detroit Lions. The Houston Texans are terrible. They're really, really bad. And good old Zach Ertz happens to be on a new team now with a quarterback who likes to throw the ball a lot. I think it's a perfect mix here, boys. Now, I know there's a lot of mouths to feed, but however, DeAndre Hopkins is not getting a lot of those targets right now. They clearly wanted a new tight end after Max Williams went out and got hurt. I think this would be a good game for Zach Ertz. I don't think he's going to be good all year long, but right now, going up against Houston, it is a nice recipe for success. So that's what I got.
Yep. All righty. Starter quarterbacks, villains. I'll start this off. I'm going Jared Goff. Normally, I do the revenge game narrative that he's going back to LA to take on the Rams, but that defense is really good, and his pass catching options are very thin. Jalen Ramsey is probably going to take TJ Hawkinson to work, and that's about all you got.
Dump it to
Aaron Donald. He's going to try to, and DeAndre Swift's numbers might be good because of that, but Goff's numbers are not going to be good.
No, probably not.
All right, Josh, who you got?
I decided to go with a team they haven't played a lot of people so far this year, but they've done very, very well. And despite this game probably should have been flexed, but you're going to see Geno Smith play against the Saints, against Jameis Winston. Should have been flexed to an evening game, but Monday Night Football, here we go. Geno Smith is not good. DK Metcalf is banged up. It's bad news for him. Tyler Lockett. It's just bad news for everyone. Alex Collins banged up. It's not a recipe for success. So good old Brickleberry Geno. He's a villain this week. Have fun, bud. He looks like a character from Brickleberry. Sorry, but those eyes.
There are reports that they've been testing the waters with other quarterbacks, including Cam Newton.
Yeah, because Geno is a backup. And they signed someone else. They signed the guy that Indy just dropped.
If only Clipboard Jesus was still around. Old Charlie Whitehurst. He'd save them.
All right. That's my boy. Next.
Eric, you got?
My villain this week is Joey Burrow going against them Baltimore Ravens. He'll probably get one deep one off to Jamar Chase, but man, that defense is good, and I feel like they're going to just be able to play keep away, running the ball with all them old guys in the backfield there. And I think Mark Andrews and Bateman and Brown, they'll have their way with this Bengals defense because they're not very good. So,
okay. Villain running backs. Eric, just keep it rolling.
Lenny, give me Lenny Fournette this week.
Wow.
Yep. They are playing Chicago. Chicago surprisingly stout against
the run.
Yep. The run. Yep. Only giving up an average of about 17 points a week. That's actually a pretty decent number, but there's so many buys this week. There's not really a lot of people to pick from. And I think Lenny and Rojo are both a little banged up, so we'll see how they go.
Yep, and I'm sticking to the same game, and I'm just saying Chicago running backs. Whatever Chicago running back is starting, I am not playing. I'm staying away from him. I like the rookie there, Khalil Herbert, but not this week, not against Tampa Bay, not against their run defense.
No, they're great against the run.
Yes. And Josh, who you got?
So originally I had the same thing that you did, Brad, but that's okay because I pivoted very quickly. I decided to go with Eric's boy, DeAndre Swift.
You'll live to regret it.
I don't think I will. I know that his snap
man can.
I know that his snap numbers have been going up, but I just don't trust them to get it right. They're trying to do everything that they can to win, except feed DeAndre Swift. He's got the groin issues. I'd like to see him be successful, but against the Rams this week, where they're going to have to throw the ball a lot just to stay in the game, maybe in PPR he'll do all right, but yeah, it's going to be garbage time points. So it's a no from me, dog.
All he's got to do is get that touchdown with about 37 seconds left on the clock again.
And I'm sure that's how he'll do it.
All right, villain wide receivers, Josh, go.
I'm going to go against Devonta Smith versus the Raiders. The Raiders are actually pretty good against wide receivers, and we've already talked about Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's a good quarterback. The Raiders are a very good team against the pass. They're actually fourth best for fantasy points against. I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry. Keep your Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, a talented player, but just not this week. Sorry, guys.
Next year when they draft the number one quarterback, because the Eagles did really good and they have
there's no good
picks in the top
quarterbacks this
50.
year.
Oh, they're always good quarterbacks.
How dare you speak about Spencer Rattler?
Spencer Rattler's not even starting anymore, bro.
I know, that's why I'm laughing, man.
It's terrible.
Yeah, this year's quarterback class is disappointing.
There's always somebody that comes out.
Yeah, I mean, we all talked. I mean, we didn't think Justin Herbert was going to be anything, and he's been fantastic. So, he's
Josh
a raw
Allen.
recruit. Yeah, Josh Allen looked ugly for a couple years. Yeah,
but that guy worked his butt off to get to the level that he's at. Not everybody's got that in them.
That's true.
I think most of the players in the NFL have that in them.
People thought Ben Simmons had that in him, and he didn't. So,
well, Ben Simmons does, boys.
No, he's trash.
He doesn't want to play for Philly.
He's trash. Right. He's sensitive.
My wide receiver is DK Metcalf. Good old Donkey Kong this week. We talked about the Geno Smith. We talked about playing the Saints. It's not good.
And he went after Shannon Sharp on Twitter, so you know that's not good.
I don't care about that.
I care.
Shannon DK does have good hair going for him, is all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Did he dye it? It's like some weird color.
Yeah.
It's blue or something.
Blue. Great.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. I don't watch a lot of Seattle stuff. Whatever I catch on Red Zone for Seattle, that's about it.
Which ain't much right now.
It certainly is not.
Eric, did you give your tight end? Or you saw your wide receiver?
I did not. I'm going with Terry McLaurin this week. He has been – everybody thought he was going to be a fantasy darling this year, and he had that one big game against Atlanta, and Green Bay's really good.
Magic, though.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that hurt a lot. It did. And Heineke, he's shown flashes here and there, but he just hasn't been very good. The biggest problem, I think, is that defense has not held up. Everybody thought that defense would carry them, and they've been terrible. So I see this being a game where Rodgers hangs a bunch of points on them in the first half, and then you just see the Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon show.
Yep.
And that offense just doesn't get to play, doesn't get any attempts. So I think it's just going to be ugly for T-Mac this week. Even though I think Jair Alexander is still hurt, they're just not going to get the opportunities.
Okay. And tight end villains. We just want to say all of them because they're gross.
The Colts tight ends.
I
CJ Uzama.
I ruled one out.
Yeah, the Colts. No Mo Alley sighting this week. Sorry. No baby hands sighting this week either.
Josh, who are yours? Or who is yours? Sorry, I should say.
I ruled out Anthony Fursker. Despite the Chiefs giving up plenty of points to tight ends, I'm going to just rule him out because he's never really part of the game plan. So
he ain't catching the red zone.
Yeah, it's best to just leave him out. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yep. All right, that is heroes and villains. A couple of the notes we didn't talk about. I know we talked about last time I was on the show. Michael Thomas would be eligible to come back this week, but they said he's about 2 more weeks away. So week 8 or 9 is what they're looking for him to come back. So if you've been waiting for Michael Thomas, got a few more weeks on that one.
Hopefully you didn't take him early in a redraft league thinking you were going to game the system because now, another 2 weeks. That's rough.
Yep.
Most trade deadlines are what, week 8?
Sure.
I don't know.
Week 9. So, I mean, hopefully he gets one game in so you can maybe kind of showcase him and maybe move him. We'll see.
Yep.
It's going to be tough. What else we got?
OBJ washed?
No.
Ooh.
So for fantasy, he probably isn't going to be not in that offense, not in that.
Yeah,
he's pretty banged up right now. He's playing with almost a very similar jacked up shoulder injury too.
It's the offense that's the problem, not OBJ. It's the offense.
Yeah, he was fine in New York. Just saying.
That was 5 years ago.
Exactly.
So
it's the offense.
Unfortunately, he carries the injury prone tag at this point.
Yep.
And even
he finished the game last week. Jarvis Landry didn't.
No.
Last night.
Last night, yeah.
Or last night. Yeah.
Didn't need to. DeErnest was running all over the place.
He was. He looked great.
With his 4.840.
They said, OBJ, he'll be a good NFL wide receiver, but just for fantasy, it's just not going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's too bad.
Washed.
What? So I kind of talked about it with Sirianni possibly getting fired. What coaches do you think are on the biggest hot seat right now?
Vic Fangio better get fired.
Urban Meyer.
Well, Urban Meyer's seat's always hot.
Yeah. Nice.
I think Vic Fangio could be the first one to go. He won't be the coach.
He won't be the first one.
Sure.
There's already one out, so
that one doesn't count though. He wasn't fired.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna say Bill Belichick. No, I'm just kidding.
It was funny. Somebody posted on his Twitter something was like, "Man, it's really weird listening to ESPN talking about how Oakland's handling the situation of Gruden when he was an ESPN employee."
Right? Yeah, they just kind of sweep that under the rug.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff came out about Schefter and how he sends articles to the people he's writing about for editing notes beforehand. Yeah. It's ooh. Yeah. All right.
That's how he gets his information though, man.
That's true.
You got
one hand washes the other. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Matt Nagy's he's a little bit of a hot seat here.
He's going.
He's
for sure getting fired.
Glazer maybe takes over?
No, not with the name Glazer. You can't. I think the Detroit coach is probably on a hot seat just because
this is his
the
first
team's not
year.
good. I know, but Detroit does this though.
But they're biting kneecaps, man.
I know. I like him, and I think he's doing a lot there. But I just worry that Detroit will short leash him.
David Culley's probably going to get fired, even though it was never really his fault.
He might make a couple more seasons because they're just trying not to be good.
The Texans coach, David Culley.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's not
he should have never been a coach anyway. But this team was so bad they had
Is Harbaugh on the hot seat at this point with this team?
Harbaugh?
Oh no,
the Ravens.
No, I'm
the
Ravens.
Ravens.
He hasn't been with San Francisco in years. Yeah, Shanahan. Is Shanahan on the hot seat with this team?
No, because everybody says Shanahan's amazing, but his record for his
he though?
Is Jeff Fishery.
It is very Jeff Fishery. Like he's got
Or
Super
Eli
Bowl
Manning.
appearances, but so did Jeff.
Yeah.
So did Jeff Fisher. So
Yep.
yeah.
What do you guys think about? Oh God, I had one of mine. I forgot about it when you said that.
Flores, Miami.
Oh, do you guys think Andy Reid will step down? He already had to go to the hospital after a
with
game
his
for
health stuff.
condition. Do you think he possibly steps down?
I think Pete Carroll might.
Andy Reid probably should. If he got health issues, man, he should probably not be working. What do they work like crazy day? They work like 14, 16-hour days. Like you probably shouldn't be doing that at your age.
And I could see that OC taking over that job if he does step down.
That'd be okay.
Joe Judge is going to get fired for sure. The Giants coach.
For sure, though?
Yeah, for sure.
You don't think he'll be able to use
injuries?
You don't think Gettleman should go first?
I mean, I think they're both going to go.
Gettleman should definitely go first, but I think the coach should get another chance. I mean, they've been, riddled with injuries.
The problem is they talk about GMs and coaches being together. Like, even when John Gruden got fired, they're like, is Mayock gone too? And I was like, Mayock got hired after Gruden, a year after him.
Yeah.
Like, Mayock wasn't there for the Khalil Mack trade.
Yeah. And New York, he's not picking these guys. I mean, Kadarius Toney, he had that one great game, but
where he punched people? Yeah, he was fighting.
Well, that too. But
should have been suspended. That's why he got hurt. Karma bug.
The draft picks that Gettleman has made have been just perplexing. So but he has a plan, and we don't need to know it. So
Mike McCarthy's going to get an extension.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is, because they're 5-1. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to lose in the first round. They'll be like a 2 seed, and then they'll lose in the first round.
And the schedule has been pretty favorable for the Cowboys. I think that's something that people are kind of missing. Is like things kind of really lined up for them this year, and then next year it's not going to happen that way. So then you'll go back to dealing with Mike McCarthy and this really talented team that will be unfortunately dealing with a terrible head coach. So.
Yeah. Because we lost to the Bucks, who are an actual good team. Granted, we didn't lose by very much.
And the thing is they're going to be good. The offense is going to be good. Jason Garrett's going to go be the coach for Denver because he'll get another head coaching job.
Don't. I'll lose my mind.
Oh, man, I'd laugh super hard if that happened. That'd be great.
And thanks for tuning in. Nah, I can't do that. I would freaking lose my mind.
What? It's probably going to happen.
Don't say that.
He's going to get a head coaching job.
Jason Garrett or Vic Fangio?
Neither. I can pick neither.
I mean, you can. What fun is that, though?
Neither one of them know their way around an offense. Apparently, Vic Fangio doesn't know his way around a defense anymore either. So I don't know.
That's fair.
Do you guys think Arthur Smith's on a little bit of hot seat down in Atlanta?
No.
Considering the offense isn't performing up to what they thought it would be.
He just had the bye. We'll see how he comes back after the bye. We'll see.
They don't change coaches very often down there, do they? They usually give their guys a little bit of time.
They gave Dan Quinn a lot of leeway. So.
I think they'll give him. I think they'll give him some time.
Once.
I think he'll be okay. I think they'll give him a little bit of time. Plus, going from Derrick Henry to the running game that they have now. Don't get me wrong, Cordarrelle Patterson's done admirably in that offense, but
they'll be a team that takes a third or second round running back next year.
Oh yeah, for sure. They should take offensive linemen first, but
they'll go defense probably, and offensive line.
Yeah, they definitely need to build defense because that's a rough looking squad out there. Can we talk about Derrick Henry for a second?
Let's talk about him.
I know I talked about him a little bit before the season. I ranked him third, but I didn't think he would be like this. This is unreal.
Okay, but when we rank, we don't rank for injury, right?
No, we don't rank for injury. You rank for upside, especially in redraft, right?
So,
but
you had McCaffrey as number one, right?
I did, absolutely.
And if McCaffrey was healthy next week and you could only pick one, who would you start?
I'm taking Henry at this point.
If McCaffrey's healthy, I'm taking McCaffrey.
Because I don't think he's going to see the touches now. That's the problem. I think there's
no. I'm just straight up saying if McCaffrey's on the field, he will. Look at the games he played. Josh, games McCaffrey's played, 20-some points.
Yeah, he was consistently the RB1, not just a RB1, the RB1.
The games that he plays.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing with it. I just when he's playing, he's the best running back in fantasy football.
I think a lot of people are going to talk about Derrick Henry though this year, just like we do every year. They're going to be like, well, he got 373 carries last season, and then he had over 400 in the playoffs. He's going to do it in back-to-back seasons, and this is going to be the year he falls apart. He's going to fall apart next year. It's just too much. It's too much. And he doesn't. Like,
never does.
Where would you rank him next year?
You say he never does.
Next year, number one.
Father Time is undefeated, boys.
Yeah, Father Time's undefeated, but so is Derrick
Henry.
Henry.
Tom Brady's looking pretty good right now, but I don't know about that.
Right. Yeah, but he lives in a retirement community.
He is closer to anyway.
He does.
All right.
I just think it's wild. And yeah, that's why I asked the Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson question earlier, because he's already got 10 touchdowns. Like he's on pace to make Adrian Peterson's MVP season look like crap. So,
and he's catching balls for fantasy.
Yeah, he is.
Scary.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. That was Brad and Eric. You can catch us on Twitter. Eric is going to be at Guns of L19. Brad's at Tack Jones, sharp as a tack. And I'm at FF Josh Hughes. You can catch the show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Empty Wagon FF. We owe you guys some pie bets, and we're going to pay up soon. We love you. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.